Come on. How's my volume? Okay, that's good. Good morning. Thanks for joining us at Surviving Social Media. Today we're going to talk about a couple of tips, tricks, and strategies to help you be engaged and get the most out of the time that you spend on social media. As we go through the presentation, if you have questions, feel free to answer them in the chat panel. We'll be happy to touch on them as we go through the presentation, and there will also be a Q&A at the end. So I'm Tracy Sinich. I am based in Austin, Texas, and I am the founder, CEO, chief financial officer, your lady in charge of Mentoring Mompreneurs. So Mentoring Mompreneurs is really the fruition for me of a decade worth of experience supporting corporate work, training and education efforts, and really a lot of time learning social media as it took off from the ground up. So hopefully this is going to be a great way for you guys to benefit from that information that I have been kind of compiling all along. I would also like to get to know you. So if you're online right now, if you can use the chat window to pop in and let us know who you are and what you do, that'll help everybody kind of get connected as we go through the training. Today, we're going to touch on a couple of different things. We're going to talk a little bit about social media and inbound marketing, which is a term you may or may not be familiar with, but we're going to dive right into what it means. And then we're going to touch on a few of the kind of key social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, and talk about best practices and tips and tools for how to really make the most of your time that you spend on those. Finally, I'll leave you with some resources on how to get additional help and take your questions and answers and see where we are. So to get us started, let's talk a little bit about social media and inbound marketing. What is social media? So social media really is pretty much a way for advertisers, marketers, business owners to connect with their customers. And we've done this for years in traditional advertising ways, but social media and inbound marketing really flipped the switch on making marketing really target your specific consumers rather than being broad-based and hoped you were finding the right people. So really we were taking strangers. We wanted to bring them to the message that you're trying to get across, whether that's a blog or a Facebook page, whether you have a website, however it is that you are collecting leads for your particular type of business. We wanted to take strangers, turn them into visitors, bring them to you, and then we want to take that to the next step. So once they hit your website or your Facebook page, whatever it might be, we want to give them a call to action. We want to give them the information that they're looking for. Most studies show that consumers will only spend 30 to 40 seconds looking at a web page, deciding if it's the right place for them. Is this particular place going to answer their questions? If it's not, they're going to bounce right off. And we have a whole nother training that talks about bounce rates and Google Analytics and how to really dive into all of the information that Google Analytics can provide you from your website where you can fine tune that. But just know that you have a few key seconds to really capture that visitor and turn them into a lead. Once you've got them, then you want to close the deal. So there's different techniques to that. There's emails and workflows, and you are probably subject to some of that from a lot of companies that maybe you subscribe to their emails or their marketing, where once you've connected with them, you get continuous information coming your way. And that's considered a workflow. You're then added usually to their CRM, their customer resource management system, where they are able to kind of keep tabs on you and say, okay, this particular client is interested in this particular product, and I'm going to walk them on down the path to close the deal with them. For some businesses, that's a fast turnaround time and you're going to make a sale quickly. For others, it's a longer turnaround time and you need to make sure that you're tracking clients and leads in a way that you can stay on top of that and not let people slip through the cracks. And then finally, and this is the key part for social media, you really want to engage those customers and turn them into someone who can go out and become a promoter or a referrer for your business. Social media has become really key with this because folks who are happy go online and they talk about it. And they tell their friends and they tag places and they sign in and check in at places that they're visiting. And you really want to become a positive experience for your customers because down the road, that can make such a big difference for your referrals and growing your business through organic traffic rather than paid traffic and paid advertising. Quick look look at the current state of social media, I will be honest, I love statistics. I think they help drive what we do in the future. So here, this is a quick look at what consumers are doing on social media today. And you should know as you get ready to take your marketing to the next step. On any given day, the average customer is exposed to almost 3,000 media messages. That's Facebook messages, that's marketing on tote bags, it's media messages all around them. They will pay attention to about 50, and they will positively remember only 4. So you want to really make sure that you're not only standing out, you're delivering relevant information for them, but you become a positive experience. You want to be one of the 4. 70% of people hear about others' experiences through social media. So, they're seeing this all day long as they go to check Facebook on their phone. They see a rant, or they see a compliment, or they see a shout out about something that was really just exceptional and happened that day. And they remember. 65% of social media users learn more about brands or services on social media. So again, this has become a key point for marketing. 53% use social media to complement their brand, meaning they have additional places for consumers to connect with them. It's not just a world where you have a website any longer. And 58% of social media users have a Facebook profile. And that number is growing pretty rapidly. So let's stop there. If you're online with us, pop into the chat window what kind of social media maybe you have. Do you have a Facebook page? Feel free to pop it in there and let others on the call link up and like it. All right. So why do we need to really take this social media thing seriously? Looking at some statistics over the last few years, about 1 in 7 people around the world has a Facebook account, and 75% of them use their mobile phones to access social networks. Think about the last time you had a few minutes to kill. What were you doing? Did you pick up a book? Were you having a conversation with a stranger? Or did you grab your mobile device and dive into checking what was going on Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest? 75% of people dove into their phone. 15% of users are mobile only. They don't access social media on a desktop computer. They're all on the phone. This is important because it means you need to optimize everything that you're doing for mobile. 300 million pictures are uploaded to Facebook every day via Instagram. And Instagram's not a platform that we're going to dive into today, but we do have additional trainings on it if you have a business that is very visual and you want to be able to engage consumers with Instagram. And then 1 in 4 customers who complain about products on Facebook or Twitter really expect a response within an hour. And this is important for another reason. So today we're talking about tips, tricks, and strategies to be more time efficient when you're using social media. Most of that can be done by pre-scheduling, and we're going to get into this in a moment, pre-scheduling a lot of your content to kind of run automatically and free you up to engage with consumers on a more personal level. So when you log on to Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media platform you're working with, or the dashboard option, which we're going to talk about in a moment, you really want to log on to engage with consumers, to respond to things that they're saying, not necessarily to post content. That's where a lot of people start to lose momentum, because by the time you've spent 20 or 30 minutes linking up your blog posts to Facebook and looking at some articles and items that you want to share with consumers, your window's kind of gone, and you probably need to hop off and move on to something else that kind of keeps the money coming in and the business going. But that level of engagement, responding to comments that consumers put out there, responding to questions that they may have, is really where social media can benefit your business. So we want to take a step back and just remember pre-scheduling and taking a set amount of time once a week to schedule content to run, and then allowing you to have frequent times to jump onto social media and spend 10 or 15 minutes engaging with your audience is a much stronger package for a business. And then for Twitter, if you're interested in that platform, it has over 500 million users and is currently the fastest growing platform in the 55 to 64 demographic. So if your consumers fit that age group, then Twitter is definitely a place you want to spend some time thinking about promoting your business on. If you are familiar with hashtags, which we're going to jump into in just a second, hashtags, tweets with 1 or 2 hashtags get 21% higher engagement than those with 3 or more. So sometimes, and I've seen this a lot on Facebook recently, almost the entire update or post by a person is hashtagged. Well, Facebook considers that a little spammy. And so as a business, you're less likely to have a shared post or some high visibility. Facebook's algorithm that allows your post to show up for other people in your network, it's less likely to show up if you have more than 2 hashtags. That's really a way for people, think about it as a keyword, and everything you write wouldn't be a keyword. So you're really hashtagging really important keywords that someone could use to search and find the topic that you're talking about. All right, we're going to get to the meat of this in just a second, but what platforms should we really be focusing on? So if you're new to the social media game, or if you have been doing social media for a while and you're just trying to kind of reevaluate where you're spending your time and effort, this is really where things are sitting at the moment. So 86% of users are using Facebook, of social media users are on Facebook. You've got a growing trend, about 14, it's a little bit higher these days, about 14 to 20% on Instagram. Lots of people using YouTube for everything from how-to videos to brand marketing to broadcasting the training like we're having today. You've got regional networks, LinkedIn. Again, Twitter is a fast-growing, highly relevant platform to be involved with. Google Plus sitting around 35%, and then Pinterest growing quickly at 37%. Women are more likely than men to regularly check out a brand social page. Women and men are just about even in using social media, but slightly more likely on the female side to actually go and check out your page and make a determination on whether or not to do business with you if the customer's female. And then approximately 46% of online users look at social media when making a purchase decision. So if I'm trying to decide where to order cupcakes or where to connect with a realtor to buy a house, this is stuff where referrals and what my network on social media is saying about vendors that they use becomes very valid and important. So that being said, how do we make the most of our time on Facebook? If you're not familiar with the business page, we're going to run through a couple of pieces very quickly just to make sure we're all on the same page with the lingo. Whenever you log into your Facebook page, and let me also say, if you're operating your business with a personal Facebook profile, then your first step is really to get your business page set up. If you need help with that, we are happy to do that. We have a couple of trainings you can take that walk you through it step by step. But you really need to be operating off of a business page. And the reason for it is this top admin panel that you're seeing. There are so many analytics and information that they can give you if you're running a business page that's not available on the personal level. It can tell you what kind of activities going on, how people are interacting with your page, what posts they're really gravitating to, which links they're sharing and clicking on. Any messages, you can have direct messages that are captured, and it gives you a little bit more feedback